Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is D-Man coming back at it again with another YouTube video. If you are new, go ahead and hit that sub button for me, hit the like button, but yeah, all that good stuff for me. But yeah, I'm mainly a Madden YouTuber, but for things like this, you know, I'm a big Titans fan, and I covered a couple of, you know, free agent moves that we ended up doing and stuff like that. But I thought this was pretty big news, and plus there's nothing really popping in Madden today. Again, you got some heavyweights out there, but again, no Titans that were added into the game. So nothing really too special to talk about in Madden. So this is why I'm making a video about this. This is some big news, guys. Some big news. Again, there are a few other rules here on the screen you guys see. You can read through them, but again, none other. I think the most important one is definitely the rule change. You know, proposed by the Kansas City Chiefs to change, or I should not say, I shouldn't say change, but to expand jersey number options for certain positions. So this is what is changing. So again, you can't see the numbers that, you know, new players can select, but here I have a list on my cell phone here, so let's go ahead and read them out for you. So for running backs and defensive backs, this is for both running backs and defensive backs. Running backs and defensive backs can now choose numbers 1 through 19. Okay, so you know, Derrick Henry, I had him in the thumbnail. Derrick Henry could go back to number 2 if he wanted to. So yeah, this is some big news here, because as a Titans fan, Derrick Henry did rock with number 2 there for a little bit. That's how I had it, you know, I found that picture in the thumbnail there. But that was for like 2-3 games. I vaguely remember that. I barely remember that. But again, the reason he had to change is because of the rule before they had expanded the number options now. But before, he couldn't, you know, he couldn't be a single digit, so he had to change to something else. We went with 22, and now he has the freedom to go back to 2 if he wanted to. I think that is super awesome. And again, there's different reasons why, you know, NFL players could change their number. Maybe it's because they've wore, you know, this number since high school. They wore this number since, you know, since high school all the way up through college. And now when they got into the NFL, they had to change it because of this rule. Now, you know, some guys had, you know, they had to change their number because of the rule, but now they can go back and whatever number they were wearing growing up, they can go back and select that number now. So I think that is super cool, guys. I think that is super cool. Again, let me keep going here. So running backs and defensive backs now include numbers 1 through 19. They can select from those numbers there. Wide receivers can now select 1 through 9 and 20 through 49. So you're going to have receivers out there in the 40s, in the 30s, and in the 20s. I think that's pretty cool. And also, I think it's more exciting for the single digits. I don't know. They just look a little bit more clean to me having a single digit. But 1 through 9 for wide receivers and 20 through 49 for wide receivers are the numbers you can now have. I believe it was only 10 through 19 and 80 through 89. That was the only numbers wide receivers could choose from. Is that true? I think it is. And now they can choose from 1 through 9, so basically any single digit except for 0. So now 1 through 9 for them and 20 through 49 for them also. So yeah, a big pool of numbers now for the wide receiver. So basically, you can choose from 1 through 49 for receivers, and then also 80 to 89 now. So that's a big pool of numbers that, you know, a lot of guys in the NFL right now might just change their number to get, you know, just to see how they look in a new number or something like that. So again, there are 2 reasons that they'd probably change their number. Maybe they've had a number growing up their whole life and they want to go back to that number, or maybe some guys just want to see what they look like in a different number now that they get to select out of this big pool of numbers now. So yeah. Also, tight ends now can select numbers 1 through 39. So now, I'm not sure what the tight end number was, but obviously you guys see a lot of tight ends in the 80s. And I believe you can get, you know, in the 40s. I believe 80s and 40s were the tight end numbers you can choose from now. And now they can actually choose from 1 through 39. So I think that's super cool there. And also, linebackers, the same thing. They can now choose numbers 1 through 39 also. So yeah, you might be seeing some massive beefed up linebackers in single digit numbers. I think that would look awesome in my opinion. It might look funny in the same way, but again, I think that's pretty cool. Again, like I said, there's different reasons on why guys would change their numbers back. Maybe it's because they, wore that number throughout their whole life growing up, or maybe it's because, some guys might just want to see what they look like in a different number and might want to see some change. So yeah, I think this is super cool. So yeah, running backs and defensive backs to include numbers 1 through 19. So that's running backs and defensive backs. Wide receivers now can select 1 through 9 and 20 through 49. Tight ends to include 1 through 39, and linebackers to include 1 through 39. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the numbers. And yeah, will Derrick Henry go back to number 2? That's the big question in my opinion. Now, also, A.J. Brown, he wore number 1 in college at Ole Miss. Now, again, even if this rule wasn't a thing when he was drafted, he couldn't be 1 anyway because Warren Moon is already a retired number in our franchise's history, so he wouldn't be able to go back to 1, but maybe he goes to a single, I don't know, or maybe he just sticks with 11. I think 11 looks good on him, but yeah, maybe you just, you might see some guys throughout the NFL, change their number just because they want to see some change, or, they might want to go back to what they wore throughout, go back to what they wore growing up, back in high school, back in college. So yeah, that's some pretty cool news there, in my opinion. So yeah, I think new change is always, always good. And I think this is super cool that, we're going to be seeing single-digit running backs, single-digit wide receivers, single-digit defensive backs. So that means cornerbacks, safeties, they're now going to be able to select numbers 1 through 19. I think that's just super cool. Tight ends now pretty much can select numbers 1 through 49 and 80 through 89. And then linebackers can now choose from, I believe the linebackers have the biggest pool. I believe they can choose from 1 through 59, and I know linebackers, they can pick numbers in the 90s too also. So yeah, I believe 1 through 59 and then 90 through 99 for linebackers. So yeah, maybe that's just defensive linemen. But again, nothing changes for the offensive line. You're not going to be seeing, number 2 Taylor Lewan out there on the field, or number 7 Taylor Lewan. That would just look hilarious. But that didn't change. Nothing like that changed. No defensive lineman change. So it's pretty much basically all skill positions here were the big change. So yeah, we're going to be seeing some wide receivers in single digits. And I think that's super cool. So yeah, with that being said, y'all let me know down below, is Derrick Henry going to switch back to number 2? Will he do it again? He wore that in high school at Yulee High School down in Florida. He wore it at the University of Alabama. He wore number 2, and he had to change to 22 because of this rule. Now with him being able to select 2 next year, does he go back to it? I think he definitely gives it some consideration. So yeah, will Derrick Henry change to 2? That's a big question I've got to ask you guys. So yeah, let me know down below what you guys think about this rule, and let me know if you have a different team that you watch. Let me know some guys that, obviously I'm not, I do my, research on a lot of Titans guys, see what numbers they, but you guys have your favorite team. You guys know, the players that play for your team. Maybe there's some guys that played for your team that had a different number in college and high school, and they might go back and change. So let me know some names down below that could possibly, change their number from what they have now to, what they had growing up. So yeah, with that being said, that is going to do it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and until next time, I'll see y'all.